Gentlemen, welcome back to Stoic Psycho. Today we are unlocking one of the deepest mysteries in female psychology and human attraction. Why a woman starts chasing you only after you step away. Only after no contact. At first this may sound like a mind game, but when we look deeper, through the lens of philosophy, especially Agnes Callard's powerful ideas about desire and aspiration, we begin to see a truth that most men never realize. Desire grows in absence, not in abundance. Agnes Callard reminds us that people are not born with all their desires fully formed. Instead, we aspire. We learn to want new things as we grow. This is why the woman who once ignored you may suddenly begin to desire you the moment you withdraw your presence. She is not simply chasing you. She is chasing the version of herself that feels awakened when you are gone. This is why no contact is so powerful. It is not silence. It is not weakness. It is transformation. You are no longer the man who begs, who pleads, who tries to convince her of his worth. Instead, you are the man who withdraws, who rebuilds, and who lets her come to you. In this video, I'll reveal 7 ways to make her chase you after no contact, not through manipulation but through strength, self-respect, and understanding the psychology of desire. Let us begin. Part 1. The power of absence. The first way to make her chase you after no contact is to embrace the power of absence. Agnes Callard teaches us that desire is not static. It's born out of gaps. Out of the distance between where we are and where we want to be. When you step back, you create that gap in her life. Suddenly, she notices the silence. She notices the absence of your attention, your presence, your energy. Think about it. People rarely value what is constantly available. A song played endlessly in the background fades into noise. But silence makes you crave sound. The same applies here. When you remove yourself, she doesn't just lose you. She loses the version of herself that existed when you were present. That gap forces her to reconsider, to feel, to chase. This is not about playing childish games. This is about respecting yourself enough to understand that your time and energy are valuable. When you step back, you signal that you will not beg. You will not bend. You will not give yourself freely to someone who doesn't value you. And here lies the paradox. The moment you stop chasing, she begins to chase. Why? Because now she must prove her own value to win yours. The balance has shifted. Part 2. Transformation through withdrawal. Second way to make her chase you after no contact is to use this time for transformation. Agnes Callard emphasizes that aspiration is not about staying the same. It's about becoming. During no contact, most men make the mistake of simply waiting. They think, if I just don't text her, she will come back. But that is not enough. No contact is not passive, it is active. This is the moment to build yourself into the man she can't ignore. Work on your body. Build your finances. Strengthen your mind. Explore your purpose. Show the world that you are not dependent on her validation to rise. Why is this so effective? Because attraction is not only about desire, it's about admiration. When she sees that you are evolving, that you are becoming stronger, more disciplined, more focused, she begins to feel left behind. She begins to ask herself, what if I lose him forever? Agnes Callard would call this the process of aspirational desire. She begins to want the new you, the man you are becoming, not the man she once took for granted. And when a woman feels she is at risk of missing out on greatness, she chases. So remember, no contact is not just about cutting her off. It's about cutting off the weaker version of yourself. Transform in silence and she will feel the shift even from a distance. The third way to make her chase you after no contact is to embrace the mystery of scarcity. Agnes Callard explains that human beings desire what they cannot easily access. Desire is not simply about wanting, it is about striving. When something is scarce, we imagine its value rising. When something is abundant, we take it for granted. Think about luxury goods. A limited edition watch sells for thousands because it is rare. A rare piece of art gains value because few can have it. The same principle applies in relationships. If you are constantly available, texting, calling, begging, showing up, you have made yourself common. But when you withdraw, when your presence becomes scarce, she starts to assign greater value to you. This doesn't mean being fake. It doesn't mean pretending to be busy when you're not. It means actually living a life so full, so meaningful, that you don't have time to wait around. Your scarcity should be genuine. Your absence should reflect your pursuit of purpose. And here's the truth. Women are deeply tuned to detect authenticity. If you're only pretending to be scarce, she'll sense it. But if you truly immerse yourself in your own growth, passions, and discipline, she will feel the pull of your energy even from afar. Scarcity creates curiosity. Curiosity creates longing, and longing creates the chase. So make yourself scarce, not as a trick, but as a man who knows his worth. Part 4. The Silent Confidence. The fourth way to make her chase you after no contact is to cultivate silent confidence. Most men misunderstand confidence. They think it means talking louder, showing off, or flaunting achievements. But real confidence is quiet. It is calm, it is steady. It is the unshakable belief in your own value, even when no one else validates you. Agnes Callard writes about aspiration as a process of becoming someone new. Confidence is part of that process. It is the decision to trust yourself even while you're still growing. When you are silent during no contact, you are not weak, you are powerful. Because silence says, I do not need to prove myself to you. I know who I am. And here's the paradox. Silence speaks louder than words. When you don't reach out, when you don't break no contact, she begins to wonder, why isn't he chasing me? Has he moved on? Has he found someone else? Does he even think of me? These questions gnaw at her. They stir her emotions. They compel her to chase. But this will only work if your silence comes from a place of strength, not fear. If you're sitting in your room miserable, waiting for her to call, she will sense weakness. But if you're silent because you're focused on your mission, your health, your purpose, then your silence radiates confidence. Remember, women don't chase noise. They chase mystery, and mystery is born in silence. Part 5. Reclaiming your frame. The fifth way to make her chase you after no contact is to reclaim your frame. In philosophy and psychology, the frame is the mental structure that defines how you see the world and how others see you. Most men lose the frame in relationships. They let the woman dictate the pace, the tone, and the direction. They react instead of lead. And when you lose your frame, you lose her respect. Agnes Callard reminds us that aspiration means taking ownership of who you are becoming. It is not about surrendering your growth to someone else's approval. When you reclaim your frame, you say, this is my life. This is my mission. You may join me, but you cannot control me. How do you do this in practice? By setting boundaries, by refusing to tolerate disrespect, by prioritizing your goals over temporary emotions, by living as though you are the main character of your story, not a supporting actor in hers. When you reclaim your frame, something remarkable happens. She feels the shift. She feels that you are no longer orbiting around her. Instead, you stand tall at the center of your own universe. And women chase men who lead, not men who follow. Understand this. No contact gives you the perfect opportunity to reset the frame, to stop reacting to her and to start living for yourself. Once you reclaim your frame, she must step into it or risk losing you forever. That pressure alone often pushes her to chase. The sixth way to make her chase you after no contact is to master the art of indifference. Indifference is not hate. Indifference is not anger.
Indifference is the absence of emotional dependence.
It is the ability to move through life without being enslaved by the need for her approval. Agnes Callard often explains that aspiration is about moving towards something higher, even when you don't fully understand it yet. Indifference works the same way. At first it may feel unnatural. After all, you care deeply, maybe too deeply. But as you grow into the man you aspire to be, you learn to detach from outcomes. You no longer live for her text, her validation, or her attention. You live for your own mission. And here's the irony. The less you need her, the more she needs you. Women are drawn to men who radiate independence because it signals strength. It says, I am whole without you. I am strong without you. I want you, but I do not need you. Indifference is magnetic because it flips the script. Suddenly she realizes she cannot control you with silence, with games, with emotional withdrawal. Your life continues with or without her. And that realization unsettles her. It makes her chase. Indifference does not mean you don't care at all. It means you care selectively. You care about your purpose, your growth, your peace. If she wants to join your life, she must prove her place in it. That is the silent power of indifference. Part 7. Becoming the prize. The seventh and final way to make her chase you after no contact is to become the prize. All throughout history, men have been taught to chase. Movies, music, and culture portray men as pursuers and women as the prize. But this mindset is flawed. The man who chases without being chosen loses his dignity. The man who knows his worth, however, reverses the roles. He becomes the prize. Agnes Callard's philosophy of aspiration is about reaching for a higher self, a better version of you that does not yet exist. Becoming the prize is the culmination of that process. You rise in value, in purpose, in presence. You become a man who cannot be ignored. When you are the prize, women naturally chase you. Why? Because deep down every woman wants a man whose life has weight, direction, and meaning. A man who is rare, scarce, confident, indifferent, and in control of his frame. A man who leads himself before he leads anyone else. Becoming the prize is not about arrogance. It is about alignment. When your actions, your discipline, your growth, and your vision align, you exude a quiet strength that pulls others toward you. You don't need to beg for attention. Attention flows to you. You don't need to chase validation. Validation seeks you. And here's the beautiful truth. Once you become the prize, you don't just make her chase. You attract a higher quality of women, opportunities, and experiences into your life. Ending. The final lesson. So, let's bring this all together. We've explored 7 powerful ways to make her chase you after no contact. The power of absence. Creating desire through distance. Transformation through withdrawal. Using silence as a tool for growth. The mystery of scarcity, raising your value by being rare. The silent confidence in speaking louder through calm strength. Reclaiming your frame. Taking back control of your life and mission. The art of indifference. Detaching from emotional dependence. Becoming the prize. Evolving into the man she must pursue. Agnes Callard's philosophy teaches us that aspiration is about becoming. You are not fixed. You are not defined by rejection, heartbreak, or loss. You are always in the process of becoming someone greater. And that process, when embraced, makes you magnetic. Remember this. No contact is not about punishing her. It is not about playing games. It is about rediscovering your own strength, rebuilding your own life, and re-emerging as a man who does not chase but is chased. The moment you understand your worth, the moment you stop handing out your energy cheaply, the moment you start walking the path of growth, you flip the script forever. So don't ask, will she chase me? Instead ask, am I becoming the man who must be chased? The answer to that question will define not only your relationships but your destiny. Stay strong, gentlemen. Stay stoic, and as always, keep becoming.